Hello, I am Leah and I am a confidence and breathwork coach. Um, if you are watching this video, we are going to run through a beautiful, conscious, connected breath. I am going to talk you through exactly how you do the breath because in my classes I will introduce you to and guide you through this breath technique. So I find that if you're doing it for the first time, it can sometimes be quite a confrontational breath. It takes a lot of energy and effort, and because of the changes that are going on within our body when we start to take this breath, it our body can be a little bit resistant to it. So I'll talk you through the technique, and this will allow you to practice in your own time. And when you come to the classes, it will be really familiar and it will be a chance for you to explore the breath more, understand it better, and maybe deepen the practice a little bit. So, in terms of what's happening in your body when we start to do this breath, it can quieten the mind down. So it starts to take the blood away from the front of the mind, so the thinking mind, and that allows us to connect to the emotional brain, that older part of our brain that feels and experiences things. So because of that, because our thinking brain doesn't like to be shut down or quietened, it puts up a little bit of resistance and it can start to say things like, oh, this is really hard, why do we have to do this now? Let's just breathe normally. So that's fine, that's completely normal. But what I encourage you to do with this breath and this technique is listen to your body, listen to yourself, trust yourself, go at your own pace, and just go as deep as the body will allow you. If you feel uncomfortable at any point, and like you need to just let up a little bit, that's absolutely fine too. So, what happens to the body when we do this breath? So, within the body, you might experience maybe some tingling, maybe changes in heat sensation, feeling hot or feeling cold. You might start to feel different areas of your body more intensely than the other. And that's all fine, that's absolutely normal. If you are starting to feel like your hands are cramping or the tingling is getting too much, that might mean that you are blowing out a little bit too much on the exhale, which we'll go through in a second. So if you start to feel sensations that are a little bit too intense within the body, again, just bring it back to your breath, trust yourself, and listen to your body. What else with this breath? So this breath can, because it connects to that emotional brain, it can make you feel different things emotionally. Sometimes with this breath, I just feel the most beautiful sense of stillness and peace and calm, which is difficult these days. Sometimes I have cried after I've done this breath. I've just felt this overwhelming urge to cry, and that's fine. And other times it's brought up different emotions in my body. So the last session I did of this conscious connected breath, where it was an intentional practice, I felt a lot of anger afterwards. Like I could feel my body vibrating and the sensations, and I felt just this anger that was there. So that had come up after doing this breath. And again, that's fine. That's that whatever had come up was maybe something that I'd not completed previously, and it was just working its way through my system. And after a good night's sleep, I felt much better the next day. So those are just some of the different things that you might experience when doing this breath. And I really do just encourage you to take it at your own pace and listen to your body and listen to your breath and be kind to yourself whilst doing this practice. So in terms of the what are we going to do, whenever we're doing a class together, I will warm up the diaphragm first. We spend so long in our habitual breathing habits that we don't want to be going into this breath if we are feeling tense, our shoulders are tense, our jaw's tense, if we're breathing up into our chest. We really want to be breathing optimally by the time we are connecting to this breath. So we will always do a warm up first before we go straight into this. So by the time we get to this breath, we will have been breathing optimally, and this optimal breath is where our diaphragm is. It's at the bottom of our rib cage, and it's an expansion. So rather than breathing into the chest, or rather than just the tummy going out, which can sometimes happen if you're trying to force that optimal breath, it's thinking about this as an expansion of the tummy forward and an expansion of the ribs out to the side as well. So that's just in this space here. So for this breath, the conscious connected, sometimes it is called the circular breath, sometimes the transformational breath because of the effects that it can have. We want to first breathe into our tummy, and then we breathe up into the chest. So it's a You'll notice that I did that through my mouth. So we can do it through the mouth, which is mouth open wide, into the tummy, into the chest, exhale. On the inhale, we want to be at about 70 to 80% effort. And on the exhale, it wants to be around 30 to 20%. So it's more of just the mouth open and a release of the air. It's not a blowing, it's not a force, it's just a release. So I'll demonstrate this a couple of times with the tummy and the chest and the mouth open, and then we'll talk through some other ways that you can do this practice. And you'll notice that I kept the breath connected at the top and at the bottom. So that means at the end of my inhale, I am immediately releasing the exhale. At the end of my exhale, I'm immediately taking that breath in again. And it is with this connection of the breath, the circular motion, that is how we're getting the impact and the benefit from this. There are different ways that you can do this breath. So I would advise, if you are doing this for the very first time, maybe stick to doing it through your nose, because it's a little less intense that way, and it gives you a chance to just feel the sensations and understand what that feels like before moving on to doing it through the mouth. So if you're doing it through the nose, it's exactly the same. It's just so you'll notice I just do the hand movements to help you see where the breath is going, just in case you can't hear that on the camera. Another variation is inhale through the nose and then exhale through the mouth. So again, if you want to, as you're practicing this at home by yourself, just have a little play with the different variations. So either inhaling and exhaling through the nose, or inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, or mouth wide open, inhale, exhale. They are the different variations that you can do. I would also recommend, if you are doing this at home by yourself before the class and just getting familiar with the sensations, that you lie down to do this. So again, this might give you a better view of where the breath is going, but it's that and you'll just notice that on my exhale, on the release, it is just a gentle sigh. What can happen if we are blowing on the exhale is it can begin to release too much carbon dioxide, and that's the sensations when we start to feel overly dizzy. It's the tingling sensations that are far too intense. That's not what we're aiming for here. Um, if you are feeling that, you need to listen to yourself, take it back to your regular breath, or even just slow down the pace a little bit. And that way you'll get the most out of the practice. Again, if you're trying this by yourself at home, especially if you're brand new to this, please only do this for maybe 10 breaths initially and see how you feel. And then from there, you can start to build up the amount of time that you spend doing this. I have recorded this video to introduce you to the breath, so you can try it out a little bit before our practices together, whether that's an in-person practice or a online practice. So I hope you enjoy trialing this breath before we catch up next. And if you've got any questions, please either leave them in the comments or send me a direct message, and I'm more than happy to answer them.